We begin tonight with what could prove a significant development in the search for the missing Beaumont children.
Investigators have made an unexpected discovery at the old Castorloy site, a slab of hardened sand buried beneath tons of dirt.
Breaking ground in the hope of cracking South Australia's most mysterious cold case. This latest effort at the old Castorloy site in North Plympton, owned by the prime suspect, Harry Phipps, drawing nationwide interest and a crowd of spectators as excavators moved in. After spending hours removing topsoil, they finally hit what was the ground's surface in 1966, the year Jane, Anna and Grant Beaumont went missing from Glenelg Beach. Mid-afternoon, an unexpected find for the investigating team when they came across this large hardened slab.
At this stage we don't know. We really don't know. But it's odd it's there. We don't know why it's there. So we just got to keep digging.
At first it was thought to be concrete, but now they believe it's a hardening material used to compact sand.
We are going through each and every bit of earth. If there was something in the earth, we'll find it.
An entire state holding its breath.
We just want them to be found and just have some closure for it and be able to all just go, you know, these beautiful little children are at peace.
It'd be good to get closure, absolutely, absolutely.
Hannah Ford, 7 News.
1966 and the days after are well remembered by David Harkin.
It was hot as heck, really hot. In fact, stinking hot.
He and his elder brother lived in North Plympton, close to the Castorloy factory. In their spare time, they earned money doing odd jobs, like the one a well-dressed man offered them that holiday weekend.
I was 15 at the time, Robin was 17. We were asked to dig a hole. It had to be done on the long weekend and finished by Sunday night.
The businessman offered good money, which was an added incentive for David's brother, who was saving for his first car.
That was the motivation for digging a hole, otherwise we'd be down the beach on Saturday and Sunday. We had to be there early in the morning, so we rode our bikes down. We still rode bikes in those days. Rode down to the factory, the gate was opened for us, the shovels were there. There was a fellow there waiting for us. He directed us to where to dig the hole and pretty much what dimensions he wanted. Approximately 2 yards long, a yard wide and about our height.
In metric, that's slightly under 2 metres long, 1 metre wide and 2 metres deep.
For some reason, it needed to be that shape and quite straight sides. He was quite insistent on that, and we just had to keep digging until he was satisfied. He would just sit there and stare at us. Occasionally come over to the hole and say, no, I want it deeper, and then just either sit there and watch us for a little while or drive off again. There was no pleasantries involved or thank you for your work or anything like that. He would just look at us.
David remembers being worried. The factory was shut at the weekend. If anything went wrong, no one was there.
And that was one of the thoughts that went through my mind, that if this thing caved in, no one would know because people couldn't see us. We finished. It was on the Sunday night. He came over and told us, that's it, get out of there. Gave us money. It was good money. I recall it was at least a £1 note each.
A crisp £1 note. Good money for 2 days' work.
We never thought anything of it other than that we dug a hole. I think they're connected. At that time, the children had gone missing. It was more that they hadn't come home.
When did it first occur to you that you might have actually dug a grave that day?
Only a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And what made you think that?
Well, there was, I was sitting at home, we were having dinner, my wife and myself, and tonight, had a documentary on it, and they named the Castaloy site as a potential site. They named the fellow from here as the owner of the site, as to being quite involved. And it was at that point that I said to my wife, wow, the hairs on the back are standing up, and as kids we dug a hole.
This dramatic new lead eventually prompted police to dig at the Castaloy factory. It was 2013. But for all the effort, nothing was found.
Unfortunately, as a result of this, of the dig which we had today, there is no new information found relative to this investigation.
A small but critical error had led to a big mistake.
We were in the wrong area. And nothing else had changed. We definitely dug the hole. The date was right. The time of the year was right, and dimensions and everything else. We were in the wrong place.
In 2017, after we began reinvestigating the Beaumont case,
We were in the wrong place.
the mistake was discovered with the unearthing of this rare aerial photograph of the factory taken in the mid-60s. What it revealed is that the gate the police and the Harkin brothers had used as their landmark in 2013 was not there in 1966. The real gate was here.
This is actually our point of entry because there used to be a second gate here that the eyewitnesses described coming through. The car would have driven up that Phipps was in and parked in that area over there. And then they actually think that they dug the hole for him back here in this flat area. So clearly this is going to be our primary site of interest.
The photo had solved one part of the puzzle. But it would take this archaeological scientist and his team to provide the answer to the next. Could new technology pinpoint the exact place that the Harkin brothers had dug? The possible burial site of the Beaumont children? In January, in near 40-degree heat,
all right, Adelaide 37 at the moment and 41 later.
archaeological scientist Ian Moffat and a small team from Flinders University began the painstaking task of testing the soil at the old Castaloy site.
What it's not going to show is bones. What it shows is an anomaly, something that's different. So we're looking for an area of ground that is different underneath than the surrounding of about the right size. In terms of this mystery, this is really cutting-edge technology. I don't know of anywhere else where this has been used before, especially in a forensic capacity.
The testing took 3 days.
We're going to take this back to the lab and put all of these results together into one big 3D model of the site.
It then took nearly 2 weeks for data to be analysed, both in Australia and overseas, and a profile of the soil where the Harkins said they had dug to be visually constructed. But when it was, what it showed was literally groundbreaking.
Hello, Xanthe.
Yeah.
The thing I'm really excited about is the features are about the right size, they're about the right shape, they're sitting at the right depth, and best of all, they're approximately in the area where the history from the site suggests that they should be.
Armed with this breakthrough, on Friday the 19th of January, Ian Moffat drove to present his findings to South Australian Police.
This is a really significant meeting. It's a huge finding. It's always difficult with geophysical data. It's an indirect indication of what's in the ground. So I don't want to jump to the conclusion that we've definitely found these bodies at this stage. But what's certainly been found is some disturbance in the soil that fits a description of the grave. And so I think that makes it very compelling.
Ian was joined by forensic criminologist Dr. Xanthe Mallet. Less than an hour later, they emerged with stunning news.
really exciting. The police have taken over the investigation. They're very interested in the results that we've had, and they're moving forward to dig the site as soon as possible.
And you're of no doubt that Harry Phipps killed the Beaumont children.
I've no doubt that he was with the children on that day. I've no doubt that he was a pedophile. I've no doubt that he was a dangerous man when aroused. I've no doubt that on the day he was handling his satin clothing, and when he did that, he became sexually aroused. And into that walked 3 little children. Those are the things I'm sure of.
Last Friday marked the 52nd anniversary of the disappearance of Jane, Anna and Grant Beaumont. South Australian police have now marked out and secured a section of the cast alloy site, which is right behind me. That area is now a crime scene, and very soon, within a few days, as a matter of fact, a team of police and forensic specialists will begin digging. Only then will we know what really happened to the Beaumonts, or if the mystery remains.
Major change in direction for the dig for the Beaumont children today, as 2 key witnesses arrived at the North Plympton site to guide the investigation. The brothers able to direct the excavation using their memories of a dig they conducted 59 years ago.
Time is ticking. The dig getting deeper.
Every minute takes us closer to the deadline, but we're doing really well.
Today, even better, thanks to the brothers who prompted the search, now older men David and Robin Harkin returning to the old cast alloy factory, where they say they were paid as boys to dig a grave-like hole by former owner Harry Phipps, who many believe is the prime suspect in the disappearance of the Beaumont children. 59 years not dimming their memories. Their information today changing the direction of the dig.
They had a look at site number 2 and felt that it needed to be adjusted somewhat.
Key to what they're looking for, distinctive red sand that the brothers recall digging through. David's a plumber who's dug at the site before. He says it's only found on part of the large North Plympton block.
Up on the higher level, I'd been used to red sand when I was younger and couldn't find any. Then I got down about a metre and all of a sudden red sand. I thought, I'm not going silly, I did see it as a kid.
The search now narrowed down to the site police searched in 2018. The dig has reached discarded landfill in that excavation.
There is still a chance that the bottom of the pit brothers dug will be preserved below that level.
And an area a few metres from where an earlier search was conducted in 2013.
The day of the dig, we've checked with the meteorological department, was about 39 degrees. How urgent was it to dig a hole that it had to be done in temperatures like this, and it had to be done quickly?
Spectators today, including a former cast alloy worker, now second-guessing what he and his workmates knew.
Now I sort of sit and look at things, I think, well, maybe they might have been signs that nobody really picked up at that stage.
Tomorrow, all attention will turn to the site police examined in 2013. That's where the majority of the red sand is that the brothers described digging through 59 years ago. And if that proves fruitless, the team will then do one final search of the areas between the holes that have already been dug so far. Kate?
Sam, thank you.